Welcome to episode 6 of the Dream Park series. In the last episode, we built this massive fossil right here, which I don't know what animal it's supposed to be, but we're just gonna stick to a mythical, fictional creature. Because last time I checked, aquatic creatures don't have noses. Do they? Because, like, actually, what would happen if fish went up their nose? Since the last episode, though, I've changed a bit up here, added a few more pieces of scenery, and changed up the bones so they look a bit more damaged. But today, we're gonna actually change it up a bit. I've been getting tons and tons of comments lately, and I absolutely love reading them. So I thought today what we could do is actually spend an entire episode adding all of your cool ideas that I think would fit in this area. So I've actually picked out a few which I think would fit quite well. But before we get onto that, I've just got to show you guys something. Moving on to this big camera because it's something in real life. If you're new here and you don't know, I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. It is my most favorite TV show ever. And it's like arrived literally today, which I think would be quite cool to show you. Alright, would you guys want to see it? You can see a tiny bit right here. It's not small like those like screwdrivers up there. It's pretty big. Oh. Look at this. This literally just arrived today, and if you don't know what this is what is at the top of the TARDIS. It is the police public call box sign, and it's like proper wood, and it just looks so good. I was thinking, obviously it's supposed to be up above the door of the TARDIS, right? So it makes sense to put this on my door. But at the same time, I won't be able to see it that much. So I thought, what if it went right here? So that every time I make a video or do a live stream, we will all be able to see it, and I think that's probably the best place for it to go right there. It's so cool. It's not too heavy, but oh my days, it picks up so well on camera. Like, it really brings out the blue on the camera. So yeah, in the future live streams or videos, you might see it up on that wall. But anyway, let's get back into theme about Tycoon 2. Because the first idea that I want to build comes from Olik. And their idea was that I should make the wood, for example, in the bridge and water tower, a bit more warmer / darker color. I don't know how those two go together, but they just want me to make the wood look a bit more warmer, which I 100% agree with. Although this water tower right here I think it looks good. It doesn't fit in properly. It definitely looks a bit too cold. So we've got to warm it up a bit. And I think what we could do is literally just yoink this color, and we should be fine. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe this color. We can try that. Yeah. There we go. What do you think? I don't know what I think of it. I think it definitely looks better, and it definitely fits in with the wooden bridge, that's for sure. But maybe we can make it just a tiny bit brighter. Maybe something like this. Okay, what do we think about that? I quite like that a lot better. I think that was just too dark before. And I think what we should do here is actually make the water look a bit more murky. Maybe a bit more green, like a darker green like this. Like a proper murky green. Like it's just been sitting there for years. There we go, that's idea number 1 down. Now the next idea comes from 4Blade, and their idea was actually the idea that inspired this massive build right here. They said that you should add the bit on Thunder Mountain at Disney where you go under a bit of a ribcage, lol. And I want to add specifically the ribcage part. I feel like a ribcage right here, which you go under it, would be really, really cool. So let's get building the ribcage. So to build this ribcage, could we just do a little bit of I'm just saying, could we just yoink this and just move it over to down here? I think that's a good height. Or maybe we make it, oh yeah, we make it way bigger like this. Oh, perfect, yeah. Because now the ribs won't look as long. I actually thought this was going to be a lot harder, but the copy and paste tool comes in clutch. Now this is just going to be a ribcage. It's not going to be connected to any sort of body. It's just going to be like a remnant of a creature. And I feel like having a whole bunch of fossils around this place would just make it, so much more cooler. And give it a whole bunch more character. I think something like this will do quite nicely. And now it does look a bit odd because these bones all are exactly the same, so we just need to make them not look like they're about to tipple over. So a way that we can just do this is literally just by copy and rotate. So I'm just going to do this to all of the bones so they all look different. And actually something like this looks really cool. I might just change this leg. Actually have it so it's broken. I quite like the broken legs. Or ribs actually. But look at this. I really like this. I think all that's left to do now is actually add some wear and tear on this side by just getting our grey colour and changing the material to rock rough. There we go. Just paint a bit like this. Oh, I did not mean to paint, did not mean to paint the rind. It's just something like this adds a whole bunch more age and I don't know, fossilifyingness to the build. Let me know what you guys think about this. Is it too big? But if I make it any smaller, then the ribs will be really long. They'll be properly long. But the coaster fits perfectly under it. I think this is a great addition to the ride. Definitely fills up this space a lot better than just, nothing. Alright, for the third idea, this comes from a Joey. And they say that I should add some of those dust balls you see in cowboy movies. I'm thinking they're referring to tumbleweed. I think so, at least. And I saw that and I was like, yes, that is a great idea. So let's just move over here and figure out a way to make this. First thing that comes to mind is using these square bushes and just rotating them a bunch like this. Maybe we can get some sort of Oh, okay. We're getting somewhere. Just wanted to make a ball or something. Now we just need to get that, like, hay pale color, I suppose. Does that work? Would you be able to tell what that is? Is there a different way? There's not really many transparent things because tumbleweed normally are just like a, I guess, like a pile, like a very thin pile, like hay sticks, I suppose. I don't know. There's not a lot of things that have transparent holes in them. If I made it out of primitives, then we'll be running into the item limit more than you can ever believe. I hate the item limit, and I want to stay as far away as I can. I think I'm just going to go with these. Before we add them in properly, let's have a look at what they look like in the terrain. Could you tell what that is? If you weren't watching the video and you just happened to stumble upon this park, would you know that it's a tumbleweed? Yeah, because look at this. It's just a pile of sticks, basically. Maybe we change the color up a bit to be a bit more of on the whiter side. That's not too bad, I guess. All right, so I'm just going to see how they look. If I had a few here and there, I don't want to like put them everywhere. I just want to put them in a few spots. Let's actually have one on the side of this water tower right here, just as if it got stuck on it. Maybe one here as well. Let's actually add some right against this fossil as well. Once again, as if it got stuck right next to it. Maybe one in its mouth. And there we go. You can't really notice it, to be real, unless if there's like a bunch like that. But I think they added just the right amount of extra detail to this area, and I like it. Now for the next idea, which I don't think I'll actually build today. I think I'll have to save this for a later date, but my good friend Void has solved probably one of the biggest problems we've had on this series. He suggested that maybe build an old Western style saloon and have members be in there. Void has fixed the member problem. Or I guess the problem that we have nowhere to put the members right now. Because if you haven't watched the previous episodes, I have had a mental block on what we should do for members, because if you don't know, if you're a tier 2 member, you get your statue in my park. So if you want to become a member, the link is in the description down below. Do go check it out. You get a whole bunch of cool perks, like your statue in my park, being my friend on Roblox, and also exclusive access to member-only videos, and a whole bunch more. But the reason why I say I don't think I'll add it right now is because I think it will fit a lot better somewhere along this path, and I think a good spot for it would be right here, or somewhere in this area. It's such a good idea. Thank you, Void. You would walk into this saloon and there'd be members everywhere. I think that's a good idea. And like I mentioned in the previous episode, I think, or the episode before that, the entrance to this ride will be right around here, and it'll be sort of a mine shaft. And I feel like we can just have around here a whole bunch of like Western buildings. Maybe we could build some canyon terrain and have some higher than others. There's so much potential that we could do here, but I think it deserves its own episode entirely. The other idea that was very similar came from THBXYT, and they said that we should add some Wild West buildings that you go through. I think they mean going through like on the ride, but I don't think that would fit anywhere. We might add some alongside it, but definitely not going through it, I think. But anyway, the next idea is a pretty big one. This comes from Viper Astro, and they said, when you said about the 2 canyons with the water in the middle, like, you know, the stereotypical canyon thing where you have the 2 canyons and then the water going through straight through the middle, they suggest that I could place it at the end of the ride, aka the splashdown. Because if you don't know, the splashdown is literally at the end of the ride, right here, and I think that's perfect. It makes the most sense of how we can incorporate the stereotypical canyon inside of our canyon theme. The only thing is we'd actually have to get rid of the majority of this, which I have no problem with because I wasn't a big fan of this. So let's get straight to it. Right, so my idea for this is quite a simple one. Basically, we're going to change up this terrain a tiny bit to make it so it follows this circular pattern right here. But there'll be a bit of terrain right here, which will then cut off to the slope. There'll be 2 slopes right here, going straight like this to this entrance. I think should we keep the mine entrance? I don't know. It will pop out a tiny bit, it will come out of here, and then it will enter into this bit, which will also be underground. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but you'll see what I mean when we do it. So let's just get building. First thing we've got to do is, of course, continue this circle around. I'm thinking something as simple as just copy and pasting these. It will slowly slope down so it can connect to this one, just like this. And there we go. I think that should help what I was just saying. Just trust the process, and hopefully it will look good. I do want to just change a few pieces here and there so it doesn't look as copy and pasted. Not all of them, just a few of them. And now we have got a load of holes here. We've got to fix that. Now, while I'm building this, I would just like to say, if you are enjoying the video and have not yet subscribed, please do so. We are coming up fast to 20k, and last stream, you guys decided what we should do when we hit 20,000 subscribers. And what is it, you ask? You guys wanted me to do you guys want me to do a karaoke stream, but there's no way in this world I'm doing a karaoke stream. Alright, no way. But instead, you guys voted on me doing a 24-hour live stream. That's right. I will be doing 2 12-hour streams. 12 hours one day, go to sleep because I don't want people watching me sleep, and then 12 hours the next day. So if you don't want to miss that, because that'll be a piece of Notme history. Not every day I do a 12-hour stream, alright? Then please do subscribe. Thank you. Alright, I think that's all connected. That should be all connected now. So now what we need to do is literally just grab these top pieces of the terrain and just add them in like this. This might take me a while to do, because I got to get it all the way over to here. So give me a second. All right, and before I build any more, let's begin the slope, because once we build the slope, then I'll know where to actually build this roof part. So I guess we should start from the bottom. Right here, we'll have the ground piece. What we should be able to do is just something like this that just slopes all the way up. Nothing crazy. Literally just something like this as the main base, that is. We'll, of course, add like these poppy outy things, a whole bunch more detail later on, but before we do that, let's copy and paste this over a bunch of times, which will hopefully make this look a lot more like a canyon. Oh my, this is gonna be so sick to go down. Bro, there's everything in my camera. Here we go. This is gonna look so sick. We're confused on what I meant by like the stereotypical canyon terrain. This is what I meant. And I think, hopefully you know what I mean by now. Not sure what to do at this point. This is a bit of a tricky point. I presume I can just get rid of all of this. It shouldn't matter. Just curve it around and have the entrance here. So if we just move this entrance to around here. Just for now, if you guys have a better idea, please do comment down below. This could just be an old abandoned mine shaft. There's nothing, it doesn't have to be anything more to it. Yeah, this is what I mean. And then we'll do that on the other side as well. It might look a bit odd now, but hopefully once we get rid of all these pokey outy bits here, add all these roof bits over, this should start be looking like quite the fire emoji, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's just roof this over, and now we just got to fit in all these gaps. Okay, what do you guys think of this? I actually quite like it. I think something that can help a lot is if we just change some of the colors to make some look a bit more burnt, and as if they were like actually burnt from the sun. You know, we can make some white. I quite like it. Definitely the colors help a ton. The funny thing is, nobody's even going to be able to see this when they're riding the ride. We can just copy this to the other side and we should be fine. And there we go. It isn't exactly the same. So as you can see here, we're going to have to fill up some spots. So if you give me 5 seconds, this is going to hopefully look a bit less of a mess. Nearly forgot to record again, but here we are. I'm thinking this is looking a lot better than it just did a second ago. Definitely a few bits here and there which need to fix in, but that's fine. Also, we're in a bit of a sticky situation with this. Not sure what we should do about that. Maybe we just bring this forward a bit. I think that's the only thing we can really do, but at the same time, we get less of the splashdown. You know, I don't know. Either we just have this going straight and then into brakes and then just turning, I guess. We can do that. So if we just bring this into brakes like that. All right, there we go. I think that looks a lot better. And let's just give it a quick old test ride. Oh, the fossil. I love the fossil. Oh, we got whack our head. Oh, that's a close one. Shame that you don't get to see as much of the fossil as you do if you're just walking around. Oh, yep, that's cool. Going through the ribcage, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah. Oh, that wall right there as well that we just added today completes it so much. Oh, and the canyon. Oh my, this is gonna look sick. Oh wait, I just didn't test the part that I needed to test. Oh yeah, that's fine. We go straight back to the station. Oh, that's fine. There we go. This is starting to be... Oh, when you go through this and enter to here, it's just so good. This part right here is like as if you're continuing through the mine, not as if you just came out like it was. Every time I add something new, I'm just like, is that work? Does that work? But then after I add it, it just fits in so well. And then I'm like, yes, I love it. We just covered up that section right there. Now we need to add a bit more detail to this canyon because it's looking a bit bare bones if you ask me. I think what I should do now, get painting. I could do like a bit right here. It might be a bit burned, maybe just a splodge right there as well. Maybe a streak like this that's going down, just to add some variation within the wall so it doesn't all look the same, because if it all looks the same, then it all looks the same, and that's weird. We can't be having that. I don't know if this will ruin it or not. We'll see. Let me know down below what you think. I think we should add some of these to sort of differentiate, I suppose, or just add some variation, I guess, to the canyon so it doesn't all look the slopey same. But at the same time, you might make you feel a bit claustrophobic, so I wouldn't want that. Hey, if you're down here, what does this look like? Oh, it's not too bad, actually. I quite like it. Let's just finish off painting the tops of these. This is looking so sick. We need to add some scenery. I'm so glad we finally now have an actual, like, I don't know what this is called. I keep calling it the stereotypical canyon terrain. But I'm so glad we have it. I wasn't sure how this was gonna look, but I think it looks really sick. And now comes the much more trickier part, I think. We gotta fill up all of these gaps right here with terrain so that we don't have these gaping holes in the floor. I think I'm just gonna do this corner right here and this one right here. So with all that said, shall we head into a time lapse? Let's get it. Oh my, you gotta be joking. I've had this. You see this little tiny bar? Bro, I've had this. If you don't know what this is, it is, right, you can see there's my Spotify. It's for, I kept that on. I was literally just live streaming, yesterday, so I had this on. Oh my days. I forgot to turn it off. Sorry guys if that was bugging you.
Don't stop.
few minutes later, this is where we're at. I have just noticed that there is a hole here. So let me fix that up real quick. Alright, there we go. This is what I meant. Filling up all the holes, connecting up all the terrain, and it is slowly coming together really nicely. I do really quickly just want to paint like a splodge up here. You may have noticed I haven't done up there, and that's because I'm not sure how this will look yet. I'll do that when I'm actually building like the entrance and stuff like that. And I think with that done, I'm gonna call it for today's episode. I also need to have some help with this. What in the world do we put here? But I guess we do that when we do the queue and the station decorations. Bro, I have no idea how any of this is gonna look, but I'm sure it will look pretty freaking sick. And also, we're gonna need to build supports. Oh man, but that's for a later day. If you have any ideas for what we can add in this area, make sure to comment down below. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and see ya!